aware of how fast the speed of light is. Light from the furthest detectable object is perhaps 13, 14 billion years old or more of what we can determine and detect. And everything in between, there is something we can measure also. This is light that was emitted by something the earth and even the sun did not yet exist, according to what we understand in terms of science. The distance is incomprehensible. Let me just give you an example. If we were to fly a plane at the fastest speed available to us, the distance from the earth to the moon, it would take, I think, several weeks or months. I don't have the math in my head. The distance is about, 100,000, several 100,000 miles. Many times the size of the earth is the distance between the earth and the moon, just the earth and the moon. Light covers that distance in 1.5 seconds. So when we say light years, we're saying the time that speed takes to cover in a year. So billions of light years, that's what we're talking about. This is the extent of as-sama' ad-dunya. How did the Prophet ﷺ explain the sab'a samawat between each other? There's a hadith, it's not the most authentic, but it could be wrong by many orders of magnitude and still be amazing. That if you were to take the sama' ad-dunya, comparing it to the next of the skies, the next of the heavens, it's like you take a ring and you toss it in the desert. Let me ask you, if you toss a ring in the desert and you leave, will you ever find that ring again? Will anyone else ever find that ring? Maybe by accident, but never intentionally. So in other words, the one sama to the next sama is insignificant. And he said the second to the third is like the same, a ring in the desert. And the third to the fourth, and the fourth to the fifth, and the fifth to the sixth, and the sixth to the seventh. So we're just getting these enormous comparisons between one another. Now, depending on which opinion you follow, Jannah either is entirely in the seventh heaven or is a little bit in the sixth and the seventh, and who cares? We're already way beyond our comprehension, because everything we're going to experience in our lives is going to be a city, a state, one country, or for sure this world. And we can't comprehend everything. We are still discovering amazing things in this. And the one who enters Jannah last, the famous hadith, Allah will give him the earth and everything is in it 10 times. And then whatever he wants after that. So Jannah is very vast. But the hadith didn't stop from there. What's the ayah that everyone knows, that we know is the greatest ayah? Ayatul Kursi. What is the Kursi? Unfortunately, I've seen it mistranslated as the throne. But actually the Kursi is not the throne yet. It's actually what you step up to reach the throne. So it is subservient to the throne. The Kursi, to the greatest of the samawat, is like a ring in the desert. And then you have the arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the greatest of all of Allah's creation, the most magnificent thing in Allah's creation. The Kursi is like a ring in the desert to it. And then, if these are the creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what then about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So my dear brothers and sisters, see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses what our awareness is. And the more we learn about the natural world, the more we have the opportunity to think of how amazing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. The people of the past, when they thought of sama' ad-dunya, it's what they could see, which was amazing. Any night, go camping. MashaAllah, my family and I, we have been discovering the beautiful parks, especially in East Texas, and I think there's more in other places. It's dark, it's clear, the skies, you can see things you've never seen before in the sky. That's enough. But when you know more, the believer benefits from this type of knowledge. You think, that's amazing, but I know how much further it goes, and everything is beyond that. And usually Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks in sort of superlative way. More than. It's like a ring. It doesn't say it's only a ring. It's like, gone. Something, a comparison. So the degrees of what is Jannah? What is Jannah going to be? The greediest person in this world only can encompass what they know. And Jannah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, has مَاذَا عَيْنٌ لَا there's nothing you can, things an eye hasn't seen and a heart hasn't even perceived or desired. So my dear brothers and sisters, our deen is guiding us to something very, very great. If we take a moment that we have an opportunity to think about in front of us. We can talk then about the electronics of something like this. We can talk about the material that's inside here and the bonds and things. We have a lot of topics that in everyday things and everyday experiences we can enjoy and find a beauty in that will boost our iman. My intention is maybe once a month, because I don't think I can do more than that, once a month find a topic like this to reflect on, so that when we go out now inshallah, I hope tonight, I don't know if tonight, I think tonight's a clear night, maybe not, look up in the sky and just think, this is just the sama ad-dunya, and anything and everything that has happened or ever will happen for human beings, it occurs only in this. And yet there are 6 other samawat before we even reach the kursi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we have the ayatul kursi describing وَسِعَ كُرْسِيُّهُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. So subhanAllah, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the humility to see our place in this creation and to elevate us through that. Through that humility we will serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala better, and through that Allah will elevate us inshallah to the highest ranks of Jannat al-Firdaus. We seek Allah's refuge from the hellfire, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us with His rahmah to reach Jannat al-Firdaus and to meet Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam at His hawd inshallah. Jazakumullah khair, subhanakallah wa bihamdika wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. As always, we remember our brothers and our sisters suffering in Afghanistan, in Kashmir, in